She gave a war veteran shelter for one night. The next morning, 200 soldiers surrounded her home. What they said made her cry on the spot. Late at night, when everything in Claire's small house was quiet, a sudden knock shattered the silence. Startled, Claire walked to the door and opened it. Standing before her was an old man, looking exhausted, dressed in worn and tattered clothes. In his hands, he held a frayed American flag, rolled up like a precious treasure. "Excuse me," he said, his voice weak but earnest, "I have nowhere else to go. May I stay here for the night?" Claire looked closely into his eyes. Those eyes weren't just the eyes of a homeless man. There was something deep and weathered in them. She hesitated for a moment, then opened the door wider to let him in. "Come in," she said. "You can stay here tonight." Claire quickly prepared a simple meal: bread, hot soup, and warm tea. The old man sat quietly on an old chair in the garage, hands trembling as he took the food. His eyes seemed to look right through the walls, recalling a distant past. "My name is John," he said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "I was a soldier. I fought to protect this country." His voice cracked as the weight of painful years lingered in his heart. Claire didn't ask more. She quietly sat beside him, sensing the loneliness and hurt behind his words. She knew tonight was not just a temporary shelter, but a connection between two people with their own stories. Before going to bed, John bowed his head and thanked her with eyes full of gratitude. "Thank you for showing me that even when the world turns its back, there are still hearts that care." Claire stood silently watching him walk into the makeshift bedroom in the garage. Her heart warmed with the belief that sometimes opening a door in the dark not only saves one person but can change a life. But she didn't know that decision tonight would set off a chain of unexpected events, a chain that would change her life forever. The next morning, Claire woke up earlier than usual, sensing something was different. When she stepped out of her room, she was stunned to see the garage brightly lit and filled with people. Before her stood nearly 200 soldiers, all dressed in neat uniforms, standing in formation with eyes fixed on her. John, the old soldier she had let stay overnight, stepped forward from the ranks, wearing a formal uniform. His gaze was sharp but full of gratitude. "Good morning, Claire," he said firmly. "I'm not just the homeless man from last night. I represent a special unit, and these are my comrades. They want to thank you for opening your door and showing such kindness." Claire couldn't believe her eyes. Her small act had created an incredible miracle. John approached her and handed her a bouquet of fresh flowers, a symbol of deep gratitude. "We're here to honor you," John continued, "to show that even though we are tough soldiers, our hearts still respond to kindness." Then the soldiers began to sing a traditional song, their voices echoing in the peaceful morning air. Claire's heart pounded as tears quietly streamed down her cheeks. A soldier stepped forward and handed her a thick envelope. "This is an official thank you from our unit," he said. Claire nervously opened it, revealing handwritten cards and a letter praising her humanity and courage. Throughout the morning, the soldiers shared stories of fierce battles, losses, and the sacred bond of brotherhood. Claire listened, deeply moved, realizing the magical power of kindness and compassion. That morning was more than just a surprise for Claire. It was proof of the strength of goodwill, the power to change one life and many others around it. But Claire didn't yet know that this string of unexpected events was just the beginning of a much greater journey. There are moments in life when emotions suddenly overwhelm us, and this morning was one of those moments for Claire. After the soldiers left, leaving the house in an unusual quiet, she sat back on the sofa, looking at the fresh bouquet and the thank you letter in her hands. The handwritten words were not just simple gratitude, they were a bridge pulling her into a world full of hardship, loss, and sacrifice of the soldiers she had never truly known. Tears welled up in Claire's eyes as she thought about John, the old soldier she had let stay overnight in the cold rain. He was not just a homeless man but a living symbol of resilience and courage, things she had only read about before. His stories about the harsh days in the military, about comrades who had fallen, the long cold nights without shelter, choked her heart. Each tear that fell made her realize the deep meaning behind a seemingly small act. A meal, a place to sleep for one night could create a miracle that changes a life. Claire felt both lucky and humbled by the silent sacrifices these soldiers bore for the freedom and safety of everyone, including herself. Those tears were not from sadness but from profound emotion and awakening to the power of kindness and sharing in life. In this busy world, people sometimes forget empathy, forgetting that even a small gesture can make a huge impact. Wiping her tears away, Claire's heart was filled with a new sense of responsibility, not just as a giver, but as an inspirer, to spread compassion and courage to many more. In that very moment, Claire knew her life had changed forever. The rainy night had opened not just a miraculous story, but also the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter of kindness, strength, and unending hope. And she wondered, could she do even more to make this world a better place? If this story touched your heart, please like and share the video to spread kindness to more people. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more touching stories ahead. Together, we can make a difference and inspire the world.